Okay, let's be real. Choosing an elementary school is a huge decision for any family. So today, we're diving into the options in beautiful Santa Barbara for 2025. We're going to do this by breaking down a guide published by a local private school, Alpha School. We'll look at how they evaluate schools, who they put in their top 10, and pull out the key takeaways for your own search. I mean, it's a great problem to have, right? You live in this incredible place, Santa Barbara, but that almost makes the decision harder. With so many great choices, it can feel a little overwhelming. So where do you even start?
All right, first things first, let's get a feel for the local landscape. The guide makes a great point. You can't really separate Santa Barbara's schools from the city itself. The whole culture here really shapes the approach to education.
Yeah, it's not just about the books here. The analysis suggests that the city's whole vibe fosters this educational culture that's more holistic. It's about balancing tough academics with personal growth, getting involved in the community, and actually connecting with the amazing outdoors. So, how do you actually compare all these different schools? Well, the guide lays out a 5-point toolkit. I love this. Think of it as your own personal checklist you can take with you on every tour, for every website you browse. It's a great way to compare apples to apples. Okay, so let's break this down. First, you've got the hard data, academic performance. You got to look at that. Then you move on to student-teacher ratios, because we all know lower numbers usually mean more one-on-one attention. Next up, what's the curriculum like? Is it innovative? Does it actually vibe with how your kid learns? And of course, you have to think about the school's community, how diverse it is, and then the big one, affordability and the value you're getting for your money. All right, so with that checklist in our back pocket, let's see how it plays out with the top schools they highlighted. We're going to kick things off with a head-to-head comparison of the top 3. Now, this is super interesting. Right away, you see the big trade-off, don't you? A private school like Alpha has that tiny student-teacher ratio, which is incredible, but it comes with a serious price tag. On the flip side, you have amazing public schools like Cold Spring and Montecito Union that are free and offer a top-notch education, but with more kids in each class. So the guide puts Alpha School at number 1. They highlight some really unique pros. It's a secular curriculum, so not religious, that amazing 8-to-1 ratio, and this innovative 2-hour learning model, which we'll get into in a sec. The big con, obviously, is that pretty significant tuition cost. Coming in at number 2 is Cold Spring. This is a public school that is an absolute academic powerhouse. We're talking top 1% in the whole state. It's got that small, tight-knit community feel. So what's the catch? Well, its small size can mean fewer extracurriculars, and getting in can be tough because of some really strict enrollment boundaries. And then there's Montecito Union, another really fantastic public school option. The guide gives it high marks for its strong academic record and a super involved parent community. It's got a bigger student body, which could mean more friends and opportunities, but it also means slightly larger classes than some of the other top schools. Moving on to number 4, we have Foothill Elementary, and its big claim to fame, according to the guide, is its incredibly welcoming and inclusive community. That tells me there's a huge focus on making sure every kid and every family feels like they belong, which is just so important. Okay, at number 5 is Crane Country Day School, a private option. And get this, it has an almost unheard of 4-to-1 student-teacher ratio. 4-to-1. That's just wild. And that insane level of personal attention is paired with a curriculum that's all about creativity and the arts. Next up, McKinley Elementary gets a shout-out for the sheer variety of programs it offers. This sounds like the kind of school that has something for everyone, sports, art, maybe a coding club, plus a real connection to the local neighborhood. It's all about giving kids lots of different ways to find what they love. For number 7, the guide points to Adams Elementary as a real innovator. They praise its supportive staff and its forward-thinking approach that weaves technology right into the classroom. We're not talking about just an add-on, it's a core part of how they teach, getting these kids ready for a digital world. All right, at number 8, we've got Monroe Elementary. And it's recognized for focusing on something that goes way beyond test scores, student well-being. The guide loves its commitment to creating a healthy, supportive space for kids, with a really inclusive vibe for all its learners. Roosevelt Elementary grabs the number 9 spot, and what makes it stand out is its caring environment and its big focus on integrating the arts. So think about using music, drama, and painting to actually teach math and reading. It's a cool method that can really boost creativity and critical thinking. And rounding out the top 10 is Washington Elementary, a school with a really sharp focus on STEM, science, tech, engineering, and math. According to the guide, this is all backed up by a super active PTA, which tells you there's a strong community behind all those science and tech programs.
Okay, so we have to talk about the elephant in the room, right? This guide was made by Alpha School, and surprise, they ranked themselves #1. So let's take a closer look at what they highlight so we can really understand why they think their model is the best out there. The heart of their whole approach is this 2-hour learning model. The idea is to use really smart, adaptive technology to teach core skills like reading and math in a super focused 2-hour block. This lets kids master things at their own speed, which then, and this is the cool part, frees up the rest of the day for hands-on projects and creative collaborative work. And that 8-to-1 ratio, well, that's kind of the magic ingredient that makes it all work. It's what allows their unique model to function, because it means every single child is getting a ton of individualized attention, both during that core learning time and during all the creative projects. So the big takeaway here is that it's not just about sticking kids in front of screens. The goal is to use that tech as a tool to open up more time for the hands-on, project-based learning that really builds critical thinking and teamwork skills. It's all about developing the whole child. Okay, so you've seen all these incredible options. Now what? How do you actually make that final call? The guide suggests it all comes down to weighing these key factors against what your family truly values and what your child really needs. And really, it all kind of boils down to this, right? This slide sums it up perfectly. On one side, you have these fantastic public schools that are free, with strong academics but maybe bigger classes and strict zip code rules. And on the other, you have private schools with those small classes and cool, innovative models, but they come with that big price tag. And that's the question we want to leave you with. After looking at all of this, what's the one thing that really rises to the top for your family? Is it that student-teacher ratio, a specific curriculum? Is it the feeling of community? Or is it the bottom line cost? Answering that question is really the first step to finding your perfect school.